Safety, as all of us have known for years, is crucial in our profession. And the OPC Foundation is at the forefront of supporting safety training for freelance and local journalists around the world through our sponsorship of ACOS, A-C-O-S, A Culture of Safety. I serve on that board along with Diane Foley and Art Sotloff, and among other things, it's launching and supporting training programs around the world, but also the new news is that we're launching insurance products for freelancers at very reasonable rates around the world, any country in the world. This is a big deal in terms of the life of the thousands of freelancers who support major news organizations. And it's the first time in my career that I've seen different news media organizations, NGOs, and freelance organizations come together to coalesce behind something like this. We want no more James Foley's, no more Art Sotloff's. And you can read more about this at the website acosalliance.org. And we've organized a panel discussion of top insurance experts at the OPC on March 25th, about a month from now. That'll be right here on 45th Street at Club Quarters. Now for today's awards. I've told all the winners to hold their thank yous. No thank yous. I am now officially thanking everybody here, whether you're a judge, a contributor, a sponsor, a table buyer, a fellowship provider, from the bottom of our hearts. Sincerely, thank you. Your support is what makes the difference. To do the honors today, please join me in welcoming Board Secretary Karen Toulon. And winners are lining up over here in rough order of your presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. So our first winner is the David R. Schweisberg Memorial Scholarship to Kimon de Greef from NYU, and the presenter is David's brother, Matt. This is a terrific award to lead off with. Originally from South Africa, Kimon has a master's degree from the University of Cape Town, and he's the author of a book called Poachers. And he really captivated us when we were reading through all of the applications with his deep knowledge of songbirds and illicit trade. You're going to come up and talk to us about that briefly, with passion. Come on up.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? I'm not very comfortable with microphones. Is this good? Right. So I got some pretty sad news this morning when I woke up. Last night in the freezing cold waters of Cape Town, which is my home, a small inflatable boat overturned. As many as 6 people are dead. One of them was 17 years old. They were out harvesting a shellfish called abalone. Americans know it as abalone. It's a big sea snail with a mother of pearl in a shell, and the flesh is worth hundreds of dollars a pound in Asia. It's a traditional delicacy in Cantonese cuisine. I began reporting on the illegal abalone trade not as a journalist but as a conservation biology student in 2012. Over the years I've interviewed hundreds of poachers trying to understand the deeper root causes of this trade, which employs thousands of people in my country, largely as a consequence of South Africa being one of the most racially distorted and economically unequal societies in the world. So the illegal abalone trade really has provided a means of income for people who have been excluded from the economy, in some cases for generations. Through that research, I became a journalist. My main beat has been on illicit economies, again trying to understand some of their root causes, because if we really care about these things, I think we owe it to ourselves and to the people that we're writing about to try and understand what's really going on. These are normally slow projects. I've enjoyed taking a break from them to write quick breaking news from time to time. I ended up as a stringer for the New York Times a few years ago, and their South African bureau chief vacated his post quite suddenly last year, which meant that I had to cover the country for 3 months by myself, which was terrifying. But really worthwhile experience, and they have fantastic editors who kind of held me safe. I'm at NYU now. I've brought my same interests across here. I'm working on 2 wildlife crime stories. One of them is about the trade in Guyanese finches, which are used in songbird competitions. It's kind of like cockfighting, except the birds sing at each other, and men bet on the birds. The prices in New York have reached as much as $10,000 per bird, and this is driving a pretty lucrative and strange smuggling industry whereby customs agents keep catching people at JFK and other New York airports with as much as 30 or 40 finches sedated with fine Caribbean rum and stuffed into little hair curlers so that they don't cheat in the flight. Sometimes they wake up and start singing, and then the guys get busted. I'm hoping to go to Guyana in the summer and report on how the rising prices in New York have driven an entirely new kind of rural commodity chain whereby people used to farm or work on sugarcane plantations are now catching birds from the wild and getting them ready to sell to exporters. My thanks to you all for supporting that project.